Welcome to today's live stream. I hope you are feeling well. There you are, waiting for me. It is so nice to see you here today. Once again, we are back with you. It's ever so nice to be with you once more here on YouTube. It's ever so lovely. Hi, everybody. Hello. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope so. Can I first of all say I am suffering a little bit today because I have hay fever. Now, normally I don't get hay fever at this time of year. However, because we've had a very strange winter and also a very strange spring as far as the weather is concerned, everything has been really weird, to say the least. So what's happened is all of the pollen has come out at the same time. Everything has erupted all at once. So there is a lot of pollen in the air. So even though I don't normally get hay fever at this time of year, I am at the moment getting it. So I don't normally have hay fever until the end of June or July, but I'm having it early this year. So that's one of the reasons why my throat is feeling and also sounding rather weird. Anyway, we will battle on. Will it stop us from having fun? Of course not. So my name is Mr. Duncan. I talk about English. I like the English language very much. You might describe me as an English addict, which is the reason why I'm here. I'm here doing it, and I hope you are here for the same reason, because you love learning English. The English language is fun. The world of English is a fun, an exciting place to be. I'm so glad you could join me today for this live stream. Yes, we have made it all the way to the end of another weekend, but also the end of another month, because we are about to say goodbye to April. Yes, it's Sunday. Oh, lovely. So Sunday is here and we are all together once again. We are back. I hope you've had a good week. It's been a rather strange week for me. Lots of things going on. Of course, if you are regular, you will know that we are planning a little bit of a get-together. We are meeting up in June, and we are going to meet in, I suppose you would describe it as one of the most romantic places in the world. Ooh. We are going to have our big English Addict Rendezvous in Paris. That is coming up in June. So those weeks are slowly going by. They are. We are getting ever closer, ever nearer to our big meetup. So if you are coming along, if you are meeting up with us in Paris, are you excited about it? I know I am. I'm very, very excited indeed. So we have the live chat as well. We can't have this without you, because without you, we don't have anything when you think about it. Can I say hello to, oh, very interesting, Luis Mendez is here today. Are you going to meet up with us in Paris, Lewis? Ooh, I can't wait to see you, by the way. I can't wait to meet up with you and whoever is coming. I really cannot wait. For two reasons. First of all, I feel as if I need a holiday, a little break. And also, I'm really looking forward to meeting some of you in Paris. I can't wait. It should be a very interesting experience. My passport is ready. We have arranged somewhere to stay, and we have arranged the flights as well. Now, we were going to go by train to Paris because you can go under the English Channel through the Eurotunnel. However, because there are lots of strikes taking place at the moment concerning the railway and also the train drivers and all of the other people involved, they are at the moment going on strike. So we've decided not to go by train, just in case. So at the moment, as far as we know, there are no problems with flying. Unless, of course, all of the pilots and all of the stewardesses and the stewards, they all decide to go on strike, in which case we might have one or two problems. Let's hope not. So it's nice to see you here. Thank you, Lewis, for joining us. You are first. We also have Beatrice. Hello to Beatrice. It's nice to see you here today. Jimmy is here from Hong Kong. Hello to you as well. We have Vitas. Oh, now I know that Vitas enjoys telling jokes. And guess what? We are talking all about jokes today. Jokes, telling jokes. But maybe today we will also talk about telling bad jokes. Jokes that aren't funny. So there are, of course, some jokes that are funny and very hilarious. Very funny. But of course, there are some jokes that are not very good. We will talk all about that later on. So if you have any jokes for us today, and of course that includes you, Vitas, as well, if you have any jokes to share with us, you can later on. We have Mr. Steve here as well. He is joining us at around about 2:30 UK time. So look out for Mr. Steve as well. I suppose I should mention what is happening next weekend, a very big weekend next weekend, because we will have officially the King of England will be crowned next weekend. So that's happening next Saturday. And as I understand, we are having some celebrations here in Much Wenlock. So we might actually go into Much Wenlock next Saturday for the coronation of King Charles III next Saturday. So we might actually be doing something live next Saturday as a way of celebrating that. Will you be watching? Will you be viewing? I know a lot of people here in England and across the UK will be watching. And I have a feeling also maybe there will be a lot of people watching around the world, because it is interesting. I suppose, from my point of view, this is something quite special. And I suppose also here in this country we are very accustomed to all of the ceremonies and the things that concern the royal family, the king, and of course formerly we had the Queen, who sadly passed away last year. So that is the reason why we are going to crown the new King of England next week. So what about you? Will you be watching it, or will you not be watching? Because of course some people have no interest in any of that, to be honest. So I would imagine from a cultural point of view, I think it would be quite interesting for those watching overseas and in other countries to see what happens when we bring in a new monarch, because it's been a long time since we've done this. The 1950s was the last time we did any of this. So it is a big event, and for many people it is the first time that we've ever seen it actually happen. I was out yesterday with Mr. Steve. We had the most glorious walk yesterday. Even though the weather today is not very nice, we did manage to get a little bit of sunshine yesterday. Would you like to have a look at some of the things we saw? Okay, here it comes right now. Isn't that amazing? We had a lovely time yesterday, a very nice time walking out and about in the beautiful sunshine. It was a lovely day. Although today it is raining, we've had lots of rain, but apparently next weekend for the King's coronation, apparently the weather is going to be rather nice. So we might actually be live on YouTube next Saturday, on the same day that Prince Charles becomes King Charles. Next Saturday is what that's all about, if you are wondering why I'm so interested in all of that. And of course, Prince Charles is feeling rather excited as well. I wonder how happy he feels. Well, actually, I'm feeling very, very excited. I can't wait to be the king of you all. You will obey me. You will bow before me because I'm the King of England. Or at least he will be next Saturday. So a lot of people talking about it. Some people already are complaining because they don't want to hear about it anymore. I must be honest with you, people are talking a lot about the coronation next week. We might talk about that with Mr. Steve as well, because he will be with us in a few moments. Something I want to mention also today is I'm getting older, and I have a feeling maybe you are as well. Do you find that you need to remind yourself or to have something that will remind you to do something important? So maybe something you have to do later or maybe on another day, but there is always that chance, there is always a danger that you will forget to do it. So is there something that you do that helps you to remember to do something that you have to do in the future. So, for example, some people like to write notes. I have a little note here. So this particular note that I have here is reminding me of today's subject, because I wrote this down last night and I thought it was a very good idea for today's live stream. So sometimes you have to do this. You have to write things down, or maybe you have to do something that will remind you to do something else, something later. And I do find over the past maybe 2 or 3 years, I sometimes forget to do things. Maybe something I have to do, maybe an appointment, or maybe something that I must do on a daily basis even. Even if it's something you do regularly, you might find that you need to remind yourself to actually do it. Is it a sign of age, I wonder? We might talk about that with Mr. Steve a little bit later on as well. Can I say hello to Jimmy in Hong Kong once again? Hello, Jimmy. I hear you have not been very well. You have come down. You have been ill with the dreaded lurgy. Yes, it still exists. It is still around. Not everywhere. But yes, there are people at the moment who are still battling or trying to cut down or reduce the numbers of people who are affected by coronavirus. It is something that has not gone away. We are still giving vaccinations in this country. We are giving boosters to those who need it, those who are vulnerable. So I suppose in a way you might say that in many parts of the world, coronavirus has not gone away at all. In fact, some people are worried that it might come back. I believe, now I might be wrong, but I think at the moment in Italy, they are now demanding that people wear masks again for a short time. Is that true? Is it true? So this is something that I read yesterday, but you know what it is. You know what it's like these days. You see something, you read a news article, especially on the internet, and maybe it's true, maybe it's false, maybe it is real, and maybe it is untrue. But that's what I heard anyway. So I hope you're feeling much better, Jimmy, after your brush with COVID. If you have a brush with something, it means you experience that thing, or you come very near to experiencing it. So if you have a brush with something, it means you come very close to it, or maybe you experience it for real. You have a brush with a serious illness. We often say that a person might have a brush with the law. If you have a brush with the law, it means you have been in trouble with the police. Maybe you've been arrested or detained. But that, as they say, may be another story entirely. Apparently, no, it is not happening. People are not wearing masks in Italy. So there you go. You see, sometimes if you want the real truth, if you want the news as it really is, sometimes you have to get that information straight from the horse's mouth. So there. Thank you very much, Francesca, for telling me. Hello also to Palmyra. Hello to you as well. Who else is here today? Claudia. Oh, Claudia. What's cooking, Claudia? What have you got in your pot? What's cooking, Claudia? Is it something spicy and hot? Well, is it? Tell us what you're cooking today, and it would be very nice to maybe share it with you. To be honest with you, it would be very nice. Very nice indeed. Rosa is here. Also, we have Franco. Hello, Franco. Franco, I believe you will be joining us in Paris. Is that true? I'm excited. I really am. We also have, who else is here? I don't want to forget anyone. Oh, Lilia is here. Lilia is here as well. Intelligent is here. That is very nice. Very nice to see you. Who else is here as well before my voice completely stops working? Udom. Hello, Udom. The old man in Bangkok. Hello to you, and it's nice to see you here as well. As you can see behind me, everything is looking rather nice and colourful because spring is definitely here. I think it would be fair to say that we are coming towards the end of spring and we are slowly heading towards summertime. Are you excited for the summer months? I know I am. So apologies for my throat. I am sorry if I sound a little croaky today, but I am suffering slightly from hay fever, unfortunately. There is a lot of strange things happening in the air. Oh, apparently Claudia has orange cake in the oven. All I can say is I would like to have a slice of your orange cake. One of my most favourite flavours, besides mint, I like mint, but I also like orange. So anything that has the flavour of orange, I absolutely love, especially chocolate orange. The combination of chocolate and orange together is absolutely amazing. The only problem is I can't eat it at the moment because I am losing weight, unfortunately. So Jimmy has been suffering from high temperatures and also a sore throat, and it went on for around about 11 days. That's not very good. I remember when I had COVID last year, I caught COVID and I caught it from Mr. Steve. Can you believe that? I did. It's true. I caught it from Steve and I was ill for 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to recover from COVID last year. I do not recommend it to anyone. Mr. Steve will be with us in a few moments. Yes, we do have Steve here. Oh, by the way, the farmer was in the field at the back of the house yesterday, which got me very excited because whenever the farmer appears at the back of the house, that normally means that there will be animals coming soon. So hopefully we are going to get some animals at the back of the house, maybe some sheep, maybe some lovely lambs, or perhaps some cows. Who knows? Okie dokie, we are back, everyone. As Mr. Steve gets himself into position. Yes, he is. Coming up any second now. We are back again. Hello to everybody. It's myself and him, the other guy, the other one that everyone loves to talk about.
Do they?
They do, apparently.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Steve, if you don't already know. Most of you do, of course. And I'm here with the delightful Mr. Duncan on Sunday for this World of English. And what have we been doing this weekend, Mr. Duncan? Well, I know what I did last night.
What did you do last night?
I went to see a show.
So I didn't go because I didn't want to.
Mr. Duncan didn't want to go to see this amateur dramatic show.
Yes, and the reason is because the theme of the show was something that I had absolutely no interest in. And this is something that is interesting because there are certain things that come along, maybe cartoon characters or maybe stories or certain movies that everyone seems interested in, but for some reason you yourself, you have no interest in it whatsoever. And this particular theme of the show that you went to see last night is something I have no interest in whatsoever. What was it, Steve?
It was called Shrek the Musical.
Shrek.
I would normally, you see, that wouldn't appeal to me because I don't really go for those types of that genre.
Yeah.
A category of certain sort of, well, it's a cartoon, isn't it?
Well, it's animation.
Animation. But the reason I went, of course, is because in the Amdram circles,
which means
there are lots of different amateur dramatic groups operating in the West Midlands area, and you tend to know people in shows, and they know you, and you all go to watch each other's shows to support each other because they have to sell tickets and things like that.
It's the only audience anyone has. All of the audiences are just people from the other groups.
Well, that's not strictly true, Mr. Duncan. It's friends of the people who are in the productions, and if it's something that's got children in it, then the parents will go and their friends and grandmothers and all that sort of thing. So people will go.
The reason why I did not go is because I have no interest, and I had a horrible feeling that I would not enjoy the show. And Mr. Steve came back last night and said, Duncan, you would not enjoy that show.
Well, you see, what sweetened the deal for me, if you say something sweetens the deal, it means you don't really want to do something, but somebody gives you some incentive.
Yes, they give you a good reason to do it.
Yeah, so this reason, what sweetened the deal for me was that we were going to have a curry. I was going with a friend of mine, and he said, well, why don't we go for a curry first? So, yes, curry. But I've got to sit and endure 3 hours of Shrek. Actually, if it was a very, very good production, I mean, the story was a bit not for me, but it was looking at it from the perspective of seeing what another amateur dramatic group can do. It was very good. So I can't knock them for that.
But technically, you do have to say that, because then if you make a critical remark about their show, that means they won't come to see your show. So when you are in a show, they won't come. So everyone has to go to each other's shows, because if you don't, well, first of all, there will only be half of the audience there. But also, because sometimes the shows, well, I have no interest in Shrek. I will be honest with you. Yeah. I always think of it as a kid's thing.
Which it is, really.
Which it is.
But they did sort of give it to adults. Anyway, yes, Intelligence says, I feel the same about Star Wars.
Yes,
and
Lilia.
Well, yes, I'm just going by the
name here. I'm just saying hello to Lilia.
Okay. So yeah, so some, we like Star Wars, but we don't. I mean, we went to see, what was that one we went to see last year?
Last year,
We
didn't go to see.
This year we went to see one which was again sort of kids themed show, but which normally wouldn't appeal to us, but we went anyway.
You mean Peter Pan?
Peter Pan, that's it. We went to see that.
Yes,
but again, a curry beforehand, so
Yes.
that sweetened the deal.
Okay, again. But
I did £20 a ticket for an amateur show. That was very expensive.
But the thing is, I don't think grown men should be going to see children's shows because it's really odd.
Well, it's a family show. I would describe it as a family show.
So
The production, what they did, was different to the film.
It's just a bit weird, that's all.
I don't think it's weird. It's just, Anyway, I went, as I say, to support.
Yeah.
Had to go along with a friend, have a night out. It was just a nice night out, to be honest.
Seeing a children's show.
Well, it was a family show, family-themed show.
Shrek.
There's no doubt that the characters that were being portrayed weren't really angled that much at children, judging by some of the dialogue.
Yeah. Well, if I remember rightly, I think Shrek, the films, I think there's been about 5 or 6 of them now. And all of them I've never seen. I saw a bit of the first one and I had no interest. Straight away I knew that I would never watch anything to do with Shrek ever again. But I think it does have some adult jokes as well, you see. So I think it does cater to children but also older people as well because of some of the humour.
And of course it's been adapted in a musical form.
Yes.
So you've got the music there, although I didn't really like the music because it was all sort of R&B themed music, which I'm not a fan of. But anyway, enough of that, Mr. Duncan. I'm sure we're boring everybody to tears.
We've got more important things to talk about because we have an important event occurring next weekend. We have the coronation. He will be crowned the King of everyone here in the UK. Of course, King Charles will become King Charles next week.
The second.
Third.
Or is it third?
It's definitely the third.
Okay.
Definitely not the second. I don't think he came to a very good end, the second one. So we're going to try again with the third one, the third Charles. We'll see if he gets to keep his head and for how long. So that's happening next Saturday.
Oh, yes, so exciting. Oh, what are we planning to do? Some kind of, we're going to go out and film what's going on locally, aren't we, Mr. Duncan?
Well, there's something happening in Much Wenlock, so we might be doing a live stream or we might just do some filming and show it next Sunday. So we will be with you next Sunday, but we might also be with you live on Saturday. So we're going into the local town to see what is happening.
Do you think they've got a mock coronation going on? Do you think... Because at what time is the actual coronation taking place?
I think it's in the afternoon.
Oh, right. So we need to go in the morning and then come back so that we can watch it live on television.
Well, I won't be.
I will, because it's just an event, so I shall watch it from the historic point of view.
So this is where Mr. Steve and myself differ slightly. I don't have much interest in it, but Mr. Steve wants to see it as a historical moment of time, which we will never see again.
It's like the funeral. You like to watch the Queen's funeral.
Did you enjoy that?
I did enjoy that, actually. I like the sort of pageantry and the pomp and circumstance and everything that goes with a royal event.
What was your favourite part of the
spectacle?
What was your favourite part of the funeral?
I'm not sure, actually, Mr. Duncan. The music, I think. It's always the music with me.
Yes.
The choice of music and the singing was wonderful. And I like a good choir, Mr. Duncan, as you well know. And I thought that was pretty... The music's always the music for me.
It's always the music.
Yes.
Okay, then.
I think we're sort of proud to be British, aren't we? You always feel a little proud in your own country when something like this happens.
There is very little to be proud of at the moment here in this country. We are basically the laughing stock of the world.
So you don't like Shrek and you don't like to watch anything to do with the royal family.
Well,
I wonder if they're linked in some way, Mr. Duncan.
Well, they both have a large ogre. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But apparently next week there is a big part of next week's event that is very special, Steve. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there is one thing, one part of next week's coronation that is really important. And a lot of people have been worried about, they've been really worried about it. And that thing is that. Can you see it?
Is it a brick?
It looks like a giant brick, but it isn't. It is something called the Stone of Destiny. Yes, it is. That is it. And apparently the new monarch, before they can be crowned, they have to kneel on that. It doesn't look very comfortable, does it?
Is it padded?
No, I think you have to kneel on it, and you have to pledge your allegiance to the country and all its subjects. So that is a real thing, by the way. I know it sounds like something from Lord of the Rings, but it isn't. It's a real thing. This is one of the reasons why sometimes other countries like to have a little laugh at us, because we have things like the Stone of Destiny.
Well, they're probably jealous because they haven't got a Stone of Destiny, so they laugh and pretend that they're laughing, but actually they wish they'd got that history going back over 1,000 years. It's to do with history, and it's to do with a sense of belonging.
Well, of course, there was a row, you see, because this lives in Scotland. And you know, at the moment, relationships between England and Scotland are not very good at the moment. You might say that they are slightly tense, let's just say. So they had to bring this all the way from Scotland, but it will be there next week. King Charles will be kneeling, and he will be saying, "I swear to take care of everyone who lives up and down the UK."
Yeah, you'll have to watch it to see the full. I'm sure it will be watched by millions, if not billions, around the world.
However, there is something else, and you might not have heard about this, Steve. So we will just move that away. That's it. Off you go. Go. That's it. Off it goes. The Stone of Destiny is going back, waiting for King Charles to kneel upon it. But apparently, if we are watching next week, you won't believe this. We are all being told that if we watch the coronation next week, we must all swear an oath in front of our television screens. Right. So apparently during the service, during the ceremony, they are going to ask everyone around the UK if they swear allegiance to the King. And we are all supposed to say, in our living rooms, in front of the television, we are all supposed to say, "I do. I swear allegiance." So will you be doing that?
Probably not, because I think that's a bit silly.
But it's true. That's what they're actually going to get.
Probably won't be doing that.
Isn't that strange?
But of course, if I don't know if they still do that, but if you want to become a British citizen,
Mm-hmm.
you have to swear allegiance to the Crown. Because I remember, I don't know if they still do that, but they certainly did sort of 20 years ago. Somebody I used to work with was born in Malaysia, and she became a British national or got a British passport, right to live and work here. But part of the process was she had to swear allegiance to the Queen at the time.
Well, I think that's normal in that sense, because you are kind of putting yourself in a situation where you are having to prove that you want to stay or you want to live in a particular country. I think the same thing happens in the United States. You have to pledge allegiance to the flag, to the actual US flag, the stars and stripes. So I think there is a similar thing. But I think you're right, Steve. I think you do have to do that. You have to pledge allegiance. So instead of the Queen, it will be the King. So if you want to become a UK citizen, you want to have your little magic green card, you will have to pledge allegiance. You will have to promise to obey and respect the King.
How do we feel about the new monarchs as intelligent? Well, fine. I mean, personally, it's not something we've got any choice in.
No.
So it is what it is. we can't, kings and queens aren't voted in. It's all to do with succession.
Yes. Although 500 years ago, you could get rid of them by chopping their heads off. So it was very useful, but we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, so it's fine. It is what it is. It doesn't really. It's just sort of in the background. It's funny with the having the royal family here. You sort of, most people sort of approve of it because they like the sort of. You feel a bit proud when you talk about it to other people, I think sometimes, but it doesn't. On a day-to-day basis, it doesn't really have much significance to the average Brit.
Although the problem is, it's all we hear about these days.
At the moment, yes.
There is always something about the royal family, whether it's Prince William and Kate, or whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan, or whether it's Prince Andrew and all of that.
Giovanni says, would we be allowed to live stream the coronation?
I don't know how that would work, though. We would have to be there.
Well, with the television in the background, I think Giovanni is suggesting.
I think we would definitely get copyright strikes everywhere. So we might be sent away to the Tower of London.
Yes.
And maybe beheaded.
Well, I'm in a Gilbert and Sullivan production at the moment called Yeoman of the Guard, which is set in the Tower of London in 1870 something probably. Maybe that's a bit of a connection there, really. I think,
a bit of a connection.
So what are we doing today, Mr. Duncan? Because I've no idea.
Yes.
I've just come on. I didn't hear you preparing anything.
In other words, you were paying no attention whatsoever.
Zero. You see, I like the buzz of not knowing and being able to react to things as they happen.
You must be having a very good time then, because you have no clue. Today we are talking about jokes, making jokes, not necessarily good jokes, not necessarily jokes that might be described as good jokes, let's just say. So they might not be good jokes. So we are looking at that a little bit later on. Also, excitement. We are playing fill in the blanks.
Oh, that's good, Mr. Duncan. I look forward to it. I like filling in the blanks.
So we've heard.
And I know we know a lot of people like that. The buzz of not knowing, says intelligent. Yes, that's it, of having to sort of react and think on your feet and being thrust into a situation where you have not prepared yourself, which I think sometimes that's a useful skill to try and develop, isn't it, Mr. Duncan? Being able to carry on talking and just fill the void all the time.
Something I have to do quite often on here.
You do, particularly when I'm around.
Giovanni asks, could it be possible to do a live stream from your living room following the coronation and maybe commenting on it?
That's what I just said.
So, no, what I was going to say is, I suppose we could be on whilst it's happening and talk about it. So I suppose if you could watch us on YouTube talking, and then maybe you could watch the coronation on your television. So you could almost have commentary from us. So I think that I do like that idea. So that is something I'm going to think about.
The trouble is we would descend into sarcasm probably. It would be a bit like Terry Wogan when he was commenting on the Eurovision Song Contest. Okay. So Eurovision Song Contest, you'll all have that probably if you're in Europe, certainly, and you probably have your own local commentators. The one we used to have in the UK was always very sarcastic and cutting about the acts and about the whole process of the Eurovision Song Contest. Well, and it used to be quite funny to follow. So what I was saying was that we could do the same with the coronation, although of course we could actually ask our viewers to swear allegiance to us.
Yeah, there might be a lot of swearing taking place.
Swear allegiance to your live English Mr. Duncan and Mr. Steve.
Okay.
Instead of the king. Yeah. I think we might do that. Yeah, sounds like a good idea, Mr. Duncan.
I can make you all part of my special group, the English addicts, and we will go around putting right people's bad grammar and spelling mistakes.
See, there's an argument. Lewis has brought up something there about the monarchy costs. Out of our taxpayers have to pay for the monarchy, which is true. A certain proportion of our taxes go to fund that, but I think it's just a few pounds a year each. I think it works out at
the moment, though. A few pounds is a lot of money to some people.
But the counter argument to that is always that the royal family bring more into the country in terms of visitors and things like that. So they always say that, yes, it costs us money, but in fact, because people come to visit the country, then it puts money back in.
Yes.
Although at the moment, apparently, because we've put a lot of tax, this government have put a lot of taxation on...
You know why that argument is a load of rubbish?
Why?
Because if they bring in a lot of money, why don't they just use the money that they bring in to pay for the royal family, instead of asking every person in the country to put money towards it? So that's always been the one. We're not going to argue about this, but that's always my counterpoint.
What I was saying was that people are being forced to pay a lot more tax if you come to the UK now as a visitor on holiday. They've put up the taxes. And apparently it's putting people off coming to the UK, and they're now going to France or to Spain or to other places where their taxes are lower. And I noticed that for us to travel to France in June, guess how much we had to pay in taxation?
Ooh, yeah, probably best not to get.
Just sharing.
Oh, okay then.
It was £160 in tax.
Okay.
We had to pay. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Just to buy the holiday. This was taxation that imposed by the government on us to buy holidays. The flights and all that sort of thing is all sort of taxes involved. I thought that was quite a lot of money.
But it is, but travelling is. I mean, you can't get on a plane now without having to pay tax because everything is taxed. But my point about the royal family is that if they bring so much money in just by existing, then that money should pay for them. But it is £100 million it's going to cost next Saturday. £100 million it's going to cost for the coronation next week.
But they will have sold those rights, won't they, to various news outlets across the world, probably for more than that, I don't know.
So we should get a tax refund then for it. If they're going to make extra money from that, we should get some tax back. I'm being very fair here. And so I'm not just trying to start an argument. I'm just being very fair. I think that's a very fair thing to do. They should say, hello everyone in the United Kingdom, because the royal family are making so much money now, you can have some of your tax back. You don't have to have all of it.
We're being taxed more than at any point in recorded history.
Yes, well, you're just making my point for me.
Because of, we won't go into that. Right. I was going to mention Brexit, but I won't.
Yes, that's it. Anyway, so that's next weekend. You can probably imagine everyone is quite excited about it. If I was honest with you, everyone is talking about it. Some people are complaining about it, whilst others are very, very excited. So it should be interesting to see what happens. Of course, we have our big event coming up. Steve did mention it slightly. So in June, we are going to be meeting up in Paris with our little rendezvous. And I hope, if you can make it, I hope you will be there as well.
You've set up the WhatsApp group, haven't you?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan, which is... which you have. There's one person you've completely left out of the WhatsApp group.
Yes, wait there a second. Before I mention the WhatsApp group, it is not for this. It is for the Paris trip. So, because I've had some complaints already about the WhatsApp group not being for everyone. So it's not a private group. It's not something that's done in secret. It's just because we are using that to arrange the Paris meetup. And I haven't included Mr. Steve.
Yes, he hasn't sent me an invite. Can you believe it?
Everyone,
fellow Paris goers.
everyone's on there who is going except Steve.
Apart from me. So yes, we'll be using that to, so that we can contact each other when we are mainly for when we're in Paris.
Yes, okay.
So that we can coordinate meetups and such like. And it's going to be fun. We're going to. There's going to be. How many are going now, Mr. Duncan?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
At the moment, because we still have the whole of May, so
Yes.
anything could happen. We were going to go by train, but apparently all the train strikers, all the train workers are striking, so we have to be careful of that. So I just hope. What I'm hoping now is all the people that work at the airports don't decide to go on strike.
Well, I've read something today that is exactly what they're planning to do. But I think we'll be safe in June because it's not the biggest. They'll wait till the kids are off in July and August before they strike. That's when they can have the most effect.
What? June is one of the most busiest times for travel. If they want
it's
to
busy, but it's not as busy as July
No,
and August when the children are off. That's the point I'm making.
So already I'm thinking, oh dear, we still. There's bound to be a problem because it looks as if. Wait there, Steve. It looks as if the trouble in Paris is slowly subsiding.
Right.
So that's good news. So it would appear that's all slowly subsiding. There are still some problems there, but people are starting to calm down a bit now. So that's it. So we have that coming up. Today we are looking at...
Can I just say something? Lewis, yes. Now, we don't pay for as many of the royal family as we used to. It's been cut down dramatically, hasn't it? In the past, everyone used to get a payment from the tax, but it's been considerably shrunk down now. I don't think a lot of the grandchildren actually get any money anymore, do they?
It's called...
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it's called. It's called a civil list.
Yes, go on.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'll let you explain.
No, you go on.
It's called a civil list. And in the past, it used to be really long. There used to be everyone on there. And the taxpayer would have to pay everyone on the civil list. But over the years, they've shortened the civil list. But it's still a lot of people whose silver spoons we are paying for. So it's still quite a few, including the ones near the top and some of them who are lower down as well.
I don't know where it stops now, but I know that, for example, I'm sure I don't know anyway. But yes, it's been cut down a lot.
Yes.
over the last few decades.
That's it. The thing I just said.
Yeah, well, and I said before you.
2 minutes past 3 o'clock. So as I was trying to say, we are looking at jokes. And of course, we have one person here on the live chat who loves telling jokes.
We do.
We have Vitas.
Is Vitas here today?
Yes,
he is.
He is, yes. Although he wasn't first. We actually had Lewis was first on the live chat today.
Wide awake with his fingers ready on the buttons.
Definitely.
And he said buttons ready on his fingers.
You could have said that if you wanted. So we're going to look at jokes and humour, things that make us laugh. Would you say that you have a good sense of humour, Steve?
Well, I would like to say that, yes, I would, yes. I would say that would go in my plus comments, plus points, in my list of plus points, is that I can see the funny side of things most of the time. When it comes to neighbours, I don't, but when it comes to other things, I do.
Yes, there are some things that Steve never sees the funny side of, to be honest. So we are talking about jokes, looking at jokes and humour. And if you have any jokes that you would like to tell us, then please feel free to do so. We also have fill in the blanks coming up later on as well. Intelligent. Oh, hello. Hello, Lilia, who says, it looks like the world is getting more... And now there is a great word.
I saw that, Mr. Duncan, yes.
Egalitarian. Egalitarian. I love that. And people are becoming more equality orientated. It rubs us up the wrong way when someone claims an undeserved advantage. I think that is something that a lot of people are sometimes talking about. Equality. So actually I made a video about 3 or 4 weeks ago all about this subject. So when we think about equality, we think about things all being on the same level. But of course there is another word that is interesting, which is equity. Equity is giving chances or opportunities to groups of people in society to give them the same chances as everyone else. So it is a word that's sometimes confused with equality, everyone on the same level, and equity, which means you are giving groups of people the opportunities that they wouldn't always have, or they wouldn't have if they weren't given the chance to do it. So I think that's quite an interesting word. And I think you are right, Lilia. People are, maybe sometimes they are too worried about it or too concerned about it, where it becomes maybe an extreme form of expression. And I'm sure you can think of quite a few examples of that at the moment. So the live chat is very... Oh, I see. Yes. Equality and equity. An interesting distinction. You are right. Yes. They do have different meanings.
Slightly, yes.
Steve, I can smell something.
Can you smell something cooking? Is it orange? Can you smell orange?
I think that might be coming from Claudia.
That's Claudia's orange cake.
But I can also smell something meaty. What is that?
Yes, that will be the chili con carne that I'm cooking, which is probably... Is that Mexican, chili con carne? It's mince, which is done with fried with onions.
So it's beef, is it?
Beef mince with chili spice, and then we will add in some red kidney beans, and then we'll have it with rice, but you could put it into, little pita pockets or something.
Cool.
But yes, so I think it's Mexican. Is it Mexican? Probably.
Yes,
chili con carne.
It probably has.
Con carne.
It probably derives from Mexico, but I think also there are many variations as well, aren't there, across South America and maybe even Europe as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a European version of chili con carne.
Yes, it's got a lot of tomato in it as well, chopped tomatoes and also tomato paste as well. So it's very tomatoey. Yes, it's a bit like mince, but more tomatoey and spicy.
Yes. So if you like spicy food, I can highly recommend chili con carne. We have jokes coming through, by the way, already.
Right, okay.
Already. Why did the tomato blush? Asks Giovanni. I think you have to give us the answer then. So we will wait for that.
Why did the tomato? Yes, okay.
Where do math teachers go on vacation? They go to Times Square.
Oh, that's a good one. That's in America, isn't it?
Yeah, because Times Square is also a type of mathematical equation. I like that. Very good. I see that's it, you see. So that might be described as a joke, but also maybe a type of pun as well.
What did the calculator say to the student?
Yeah.
You can always count on me.
Oh.
Yes, that's a little pun as well, isn't it?
It is. I should have my laughter, really. Let's see if I can find my laughter. Where is it? Here we go. That's good. That's my laughter. Do you like that?
If Belarusia, Claudia, hasn't got her hands in somebody's mouth, she's got them in food, making food. And it's strange, that, isn't it? Maybe I bet you don't make many dishes with lots of sugar in. Mind you, cake's got sugar in it. So how do you feel about making sugary cakes when you know that they're attacking people's teeth?
Well, I would hope that the advice that Claudia gives to her patients is to make sure you brush your teeth after you've eaten sweet food.
Yes,
I
or
think so.
do you brush before? Now, there's always been a debate, has there not,
Yes.
about cleaning your teeth. Should you clean your teeth just before you eat, or should you clean them afterwards?
Interesting.
I mean, it would seem obvious to clean them afterwards, but I think it's often suggested that if you clean your teeth afterwards, Claudia, and maybe you can back me up on this or give your own opinion, that when you've eaten, then the enamel becomes softer. And if you brush your teeth afterwards, you're more prone to wearing the enamel away on your teeth.
Yes.
And I think it's advised, particularly if you've had citrus fruits, acidic citrus fruits like an orange, that you wait at least 10 minutes before cleaning your teeth because the acid sort of softens your. I don't know how. I don't think that's ever been solved. Ever since I've been a child, nobody's ever solved this thing. Should you clean your teeth before you eat or afterwards? Personally, I clean my teeth before.
Yes.
Because I can't be bothered. It's my routine as I'm getting ready in the morning.
Oh, gosh.
Shaving, cleaning my teeth. I don't want to do all that and then have my breakfast, come back up and then have to clean my teeth again. You have to wash your face again. So probably through laziness or not laziness, through just being easier, I tend to clean my teeth in the morning.
That does sound like laziness to me.
Well, it's part of the
anyway,
routine.
Steve.
But
Steve,
which is it, Claudia? Tell
yes,
us.
because we need to know. We must find out. I have a joke connected to going to the dentist.
Oh, is it something to do with the time?
Well, yes. Well,
Go on,
can I
then.
tell the joke?
Yes, go on.
God's sake. I have an appointment tomorrow with my Chinese dentist. The appointment is at Tooth Hurty.
Very good, Mr. Duncan. Very good.
Yes,
That's one nitram you can add to your repertoire.
just a little bit racist. Not very racist, just a little bit racist.
I meant to Vitas. You can add that joke to your repertoire.
That's a good one. I like that one.
What time do you go to the Chinese dentist? 2:30.
Yes, because
Slightly racist.
Because my tooth hurty.
Slightly racist, maybe, but
It's only a bit racist.
anyway.
No, you can be a bit racist. You don't have. It's only if you're very racist. But if you're just a little bit racist.
Well, how about this last night when I went to see the musical, Shrek the Musical.
just saying it sounds awful.
It sounds funny, doesn't it? Yes.
No, it sounds awful.
And one of the characters is a donkey
Yeah.
who was originally played by well-known black actor, comedian,
Okay.
whose name I can't remember.
That would be Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, yes. So I didn't realise this because I don't remember the film. But it was a white guy playing this character and he was doing the black American accent, which some of us thought was maybe, not inappropriate, but, people was, should he be doing that? So, it's always, this is what we get into now here in the UK, probably in America as well, is all this, cultural appropriation and should white people play the parts of what were historically black people or vice versa in films, and is it appropriate for a white person to dress up as a donkey and do a black American accent?
I think anyone could. Can't anyone dress up as a donkey? I think that's all right, isn't it?
Yes,
that's hardly cultural appropriation. So,
but
you're on about the accent.
I'm on about yes. He was very much doing that Eddie Murphy sort of southern black American accent, and it almost sounded like a bit like a taking the P accent. But so I don't know why he felt he had to do it in that style.
Well, because I suppose it's because the character in the film had that accent. But I know what you mean. Well, this is the thing, you see. You do. It's. I suppose it would be like if you had a white person, a Caucasian, playing Nelson Mandela. Would that be acceptable? Well, it probably wouldn't be.
Not now. It would have been, yes. No.
I don't think it's ever been acceptable.
No, it seems to be the case now that it's.
When was it acceptable?
If a white person is playing the part of a historic, if it's a historical film, and it's not appropriate for a white person to play that part and black up.
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying.
But
not,
the other way round
no,
doesn't seem to be a problem.
You're misunderstanding me. I'm saying not black up. You just do it white. So I just go, "Hello, I'm Nelson Mandela," and people would go, "No, you're not. You're white. You're supposed to be black." Work. So that's it. So that's the point, because of Cleopatra, you see. A lot of people complaining at the moment because Cleopatra, oh dear me, this is such... See, this is the problem. When you start digging this hole, there is no end to it.
Exactly.
This is why we normally avoid these topics.
Cleopatra, the famous film made in the 1960s, which was a huge blockbuster film, wasn't it? With now, who played Cleopatra in that?
Well, that'd be Liz Taylor.
Liz Taylor. That's one of my favourite films. I cried when I watched that. It was so moving. But of course, by today's standards, you probably wouldn't allow Elizabeth Taylor to play that role.
Although in fairness, she did wear makeup. So she did wear some makeup.
She did.
If you see the movie, she does have some dark complexion. Not completely, but there is some complexion there. So
Mr. Steve, do you drink coffee without sugar, says Pedro. No, I drink coffee with sugar. I drink tea without sugar, but coffee with sugar, because to my taste, coffee is quite bitter. And I like to have only a little bit of sugar, just about a level teaspoon, just to me it gives it more flavour. But I wonder what people in Paris do. Do Parisians? Maybe Lewis can tell us. Can you have coffee in Paris with or without sugar? Does it matter?
Of course you can.
Well, I'm just asking.
Well, we were there and we had coffee, didn't we? In Paris.
I know, and I did put sugar in it, yeah.
And they offered sugar to us. So yes, the answer is yes.
What about Italians? Do you drink coffee with or without sugar? What is the normal way of drinking it?
I think it's either.
Well, or either. Yes. Yeah, I'm just interested in knowing.
Anyway, we're talking about jokes now. It's time to cheer ourselves up, because we really do need it. We all need cheering up at the moment. So today we are looking at Steve.
I won't read out what Vitas has just... Yeah, I don't think it's directed at us.
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Terrible jokes.
Terrible jokes. We have a couple here. Oh, this is quite a good one. Carmen says, "If you cry at my funeral, I swear I won't talk to you ever again." That's a good one.
Carmen also says, "Have you tried coffee with chocolate?" Yes, a mocha, we call it here. Well, mocha.
Okay, we've got to move on, Steve.
Yeah.
Because we have a format, you see. Terrible jokes. For those waiting, and you are very patient people, that's all I can say, we are looking at jokes, maybe bad jokes. So a joke is commonly defined as a humorous statement. A statement, or something that is said, a sentence that could be seen, or is often seen, as humorous, as we have seen some very good examples on today's live chat. So there are lots of people giving their examples, and I will give you an example now. Here we go. I say, my dog has no nose.
How does he smell?
Terrible.
Are we dedicating this particular live stream to Vitas because of its theme on jokes? And as we know, Vitas is always telling us jokes to keep us happy. Okay. So I think we ought to dedicate this live stream to Vitas.
Yes. Okay. Vitas, this is all for you. And now we'll get complaints, you see, because no one else has ever had a live stream dedicated to
Well,
them.
there's always a first time.
You see, so you say these things, and then I have to deal with all the complaints afterwards.
Though no one will complain
So that
because
is
they
it.
will see the
So
relevance.
anyway, that is a joke. That was a joke. It might be seen as a terrible joke or not a very funny joke. We can also have something called a riddle. Riddle.
A riddle.
I like riddles. I will be honest with you. A puzzling question. So I suppose riddles can also be humorous. So maybe a question that you ask someone and maybe it has a little, almost like you have to use your brain, you have to use your mind to work out.
Have you got an example, Mr. Duncan?
Do I have an example of a riddle? Well, it's funny you should say that because I do. What gets wetter as it dries?
Yeah, so that's, if you look at that, what gets wetter as it dries, that's a riddle. It's something that doesn't seem to make sense and yet must have an answer.
Yes.
It's a play with words.
Yes. So the answer always seems difficult until you know the answer and then you go, oh, of course. So you feel maybe sometimes a little bit foolish when you don't know the answer. So here's a good one. What gets wetter as it dries? A towel.
I don't get that.
So as you dry yourself,
Ah.
the towel gets wet. So
What gets wetter as you dry? Should it be? No? What gets
No.
wetter as it dries?
what gets wetter as it dries?
Right.
Well, it dries. It's doing it.
It's dry. Ah, right.
Yes.
Right.
So dry can be a
Ah.
verb.
Dry can be a verb. You see, that's it. No, well, I thought, must explain this.
Yes.
Ah, right. So it's drying you.
I feel that I have to explain it to you.
No, that's fine because I'm doing this. Obviously, I did know. I was just trying to have conversation to. Got away with that.
So what gets wetter as it dries? A towel. I like that one. That's a good one. So that's a good example of a riddle. Here's
Yeah.
another one. What has one eye but cannot see?
Oh, hang on. Before you go on, Riddler in the Batman movie.
Yeah.
Yes, he's always coming up with these little riddles, isn't he? His little.
Hence his name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The clue is in his name.
Yes.
Like the Joker. Did you know what the Joker does?
Kills people.
Anyway. What?
Is a riddle the same as a brain teaser? I
Um,
suppose it could be, couldn't it?
It can be, but normally a brain teaser is a type of question. It's just a question, a general question. So a brain teaser can be anything, any type of question. But a riddle is more specific. What has one eye but cannot see? A sewing needle. It has an eye that you thread the cotton through.
Yes. And a riddle normally has something that you would sort of. Ah, yes, and you sort of smile at it, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You would sort of. Bit like it. Is it the same as a conundrum, or are you?
It might be, but again, a conundrum might be just a puzzle. So a conundrum can be something very long and complicated, whereas a riddle is something short and succinct.
And usually funny, or often funny.
Yes.
What has one eye but cannot see? Yeah, a sewing needle.
Because it also has an eye.
It has an eye at the top where you thread the cotton through. At the top. Yeah.
You can also have a version of that goes, what has eyes but cannot see? And the answer to that would be a potato, because potatoes
yes.
have eyes, those
Yes.
little black blemishes.
They call them eyes, don't
Yes,
they? Yeah.
that's
So
it.
that's very good, Mr. Duncan. So that's a riddle.
Yes. Here we go. Here's another one. Pun. Pun. A type of joke that is a pun. A simple play on words. So maybe you take a word that is used in one way and you use it in another way that might be seen as amusing. It might make someone have a little laugh. For example, here is an example of a pun. What do you call a man with a shovel on his head? You call him Doug.
Right.
Because Doug is the name of a person, but also it can be the past tense, the actual sound of the word dug, the past tense of digging a hole. And of course, when you dig a hole, you use a shovel or spade.
And that would be spelled D-U-G, but pronounced the same.
Yes.
Hence the cleverness of puns.
Yes. So quite often a pun is a play on words. Here's another one. I'm not worried about going bald. You know what they say? Hair today, gone tomorrow.
That's it. So it sounds like here today. It sounds like a common expression. Here today, gone tomorrow. But we're saying hair today, gone tomorrow, because it sounds here and hair sound very similar.
Yes. And you might describe that also as a pun, a play on words.
And when you say here today, gone tomorrow, we're expressing the fact that things are often temporary.
Yes, or fleeting.
Fleeting.
Something that is temporary or only lasts for a short time.
Usually like money.
Yes.
Or partners.
Yes.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Definitely.
Is you use that expression.
Or politicians.
When something you've got 1 minute is gone maybe the next day. You haven't had it for long.
All of us, you might say, all of us are here today and gone tomorrow. Just like my hair. Maybe you have a bad joke, some terrible jokes. We often describe bad jokes or jokes that aren't very funny as stinkers.
Oh, here's one from Giovanni.
Oh, okay then.
What do you call a magic dog? A labracadabrador.
That's actually quite...
A labracadabrador.
That's actually quite funny. I like that. That's funny.
You would call that a stinker. It's funny, but yes, it's interesting that, isn't it?
I think that's almost like a pun.
It's quite clever in a way.
I like that. No, I like that one. That's not a stinker.
And of course, why is that funny? Because when a magician is coming to the conclusion of his act or whatever thing that he's doing, he normally says abracadabra.
Yes, it's when it's when he's about to actually perform the trick.
When he's about to perform the trick, he will say abracadabra, and then the doves appear from somewhere. So obviously, a labracadabrador is a play on words. There,
so it is a word that's used as a spell.
Labrador.
Spell.
Like abracadabra.
Like open sesame.
So thank you very much for Giovanni, who admits that this is terrible. So that could come under the category of being a stinker.
Here we go. Vitas has one. It would not be a live stream without one of Vitas's jokes.
We've had lots.
A man in a French restaurant asks the waiter, "Do you have frog's legs?"
Yes.
No. No, replies the waiter. I always walk like this.
That's a good joke. Yes. Because he's saying, do you what the man in the restaurant is asking is, do you have frog's legs on the menu?
Yes.
Because you wouldn't have to say on the menu if you're in a restaurant, do you have frog's legs? But of course, if you were to say to somebody, do you have frog's legs?
Oh my God, you're sucking the life out of this joke.
Well, I'm just explaining it.
Yes.
Hopefully perhaps I don't need to explain them.
I don't think you need to explain that one. That is quite a simple joke. But it's good. Yes, I like that. I like that. Yes. So there are many types of bad jokes. Here's one. I have an example, Steve. Doctor, I feel like a pair of curtains. Oh, pull yourself together.
Yes, I feel like a pair of curtains. Pull yourself together, yes, because a doctor, if somebody says to you, pull yourself together, it means get hold of yourself, control yourself, stop being so silly. If you're crying over something quite minor, somebody might say to you, say you just grazed your elbow. Didn't even draw any blood. You grazed. Oh, look at my elbow. Hardly. Pull yourself together. Don't be so silly.
You are telling that person to calm down.
Yes.
And stop being so hysterical.
Stop being so. What's the modern phrase? Stop being a snowflake.
Yeah.
I would say now.
Yes. Don't be such a big baby.
Yes, exactly. Pull yourself together. But of course, when you close your curtains, you pull them together.
Yes, you pull them together. I think I'm a pair of curtains. Pull yourself together. Also, we can have a very funny joke. Maybe something that is really, really funny. Nitram just told a joke that appeared on Saturday Night Live. I can't repeat it because it's very rude, but I'm going to keep it on the live chat if you want to read it yourself.
Oh, right, yes.
But it's a little rude, so we won't.
Would you call that a dirty joke? Is that a category that you've got coming up?
That's not really a dirty joke. That's satire.
Satire.
So it's being satirical. It is making fun of a certain group or organisation. So we would probably describe that as satire.
And satire in the UK is a very popular form of humour.
Mm.
Take a group of people like politicians,
The royal family.
the royal family, and you make jokes about them. Institutions,
Mm.
the civil service, all those sorts of things which we like to make fun out of, and that's satire.
Yes, we used to be very good at satire in this country, but we don't do it very often. However, in the United States, they are still very good at doing satire and making fun of people in authority.
And we have a magazine that comes out every month, don't we, which we sometimes get called Private Eye,
Yes.
which is a satirical, humorous magazine that pokes fun at institutions, people in charge, people in power.
Yes. And it's these days it's very easy to do because most of our politics at the moment is pretty awful when you think about it. So a very funny joke is described as a howler because when you find it funny, you howl or you laugh very, very strongly. You think it's so funny. You laugh. It is a howler. Here's one, Steve. I like this one. Comeback.
Right.
So this is a kind of witty or amusing remark, but this is normally given in reply or in response to someone. So maybe they say something to you, maybe they insult you, and you have to come back with a smart answer to make them feel bad. So quite often we use a comeback when we have to answer or reply to someone quickly, but also in an amusing way.
Yes,
It's not easy to do.
somebody might say something to you at work, and everybody laughs at you because somebody's made this remark, but if you come back quickly with a funny reply, then you will come out on top. Of course, quite often, if you're not quick enough, you might not think of that reply straight away.
Yes.
You might think of it 10 minutes later, when
Which often happens.
the effect is lost.
It always reminds me of that great episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza is humiliated in front of his work colleagues when he's eating all of those prawns. Is it prawns?
Shrimps, prawns, yeah.
Shrimp. And he's eating lots of shrimp. And one of his colleagues says, the ocean called, they're running out of shrimp. But unfortunately, George does not have a comeback. Although later on he does. He does think of a comeback. And it's
too late.
It's a very funny episode.
And it annoys him because he thought of it afterwards.
That's it.
But yes, it's banter in a way, isn't it? Banter, sort of. Well, sometimes it can be.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's even banter because it's somebody is putting you down. They are really trying to make you look stupid and upset you.
But sometimes they might be doing it in a, if you're with friends, they might be just sort of gentle, sort of ribbing, as they say, when you're just taking the mickey out of each other. I've got a friend who we're both over 60, but he's a year and a half younger than me. But he always, whenever we talk about anything that, we've got an ache or a pain or something, he said, well, he said, well, you are much older than me.
Mm.
He'll sort of always make comments about my age as though I'm sort of 20 years older than him, but there's only a few. But I've got to come back with something, to him about maybe his weight or something. And then it's just a bit of friendly banter, but in a joking way when you're making a comeback. But quite often it can be said, as you say, in a deliberate way to put somebody down, to make them feel bad.
You're trying to make them feel bad.
Yes.
But
why are fish well educated, says Alessandra. Well, tell us why. Why are fish well educated?
is it something to do with them all spending a lot of time in school?
Ah, right. Right. That could be it. Yes.
They spend a lot of time in schools. Because of course a group of fish together is called a school. Yes. Yeah. Very nice. What did the fish say when it swam into a wall? Damn. I like that one. That's good.
So damn is an expletive. If you bang your finger with a hammer, damn.
Damn.
But of course,
or maybe you find out that Mr. Steve is on the live stream. Oh, damn.
Damn and blast. But of course, a dam, D-A-M-N,
Yes.
pronounced the same way, is something, a wall used to hold water back. And of course, the fish is trying to swim upstream, and there's the dam in the way. Hence
Of course,
the joke.
When you scream "damn," it is actually an abbreviation of damnation. Did you know that? Did you know that? Damn, when you're angry, it's actually an abbreviation of damnation, which would be seen as offensive in the past.
Alessandra, yes, it was a school of fish because they spend a lot of time in schools.
Another type of joke, of course, is a gag. So a very quick joke, a very short joke, maybe a joke that you tell. There are many comedians who tell lots of jokes, lots of short, quick, humorous jokes, and we often call those gags. So they are jokes that are told maybe one or two or maybe many over a period of time.
Which a lot of what we're getting on the live stream here you could describe as gags as well, couldn't you? Because they're relatively short jokes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yes. I could tell a dirty joke. A man walks down the road. Somebody says, do you have the time on your cock? He says, no, I normally keep it on my wrist like everyone else. See, that's a good one. I like that one.
That's a dirty joke. Yeah, so a dirty joke...
Well, it's not a dirty joke, you see, because the word cock is used as a friendly way of greeting someone.
Oh, right. Yeah, it is.
Hello, cock.
Yeah.
All right, cock. Have you got the time on your cock?
Although they don't really... Yeah.
No, I normally keep it on my wrist like everyone else. It's quite good, that. I like that one.
Have you got a category about dirty jokes?
No.
Because you don't want to encourage it on the live stream.
That's the only dirty joke we have today.
Well, a dirty joke, we want to explain it for completeness.
Well, I think that joke really does explain it. Dirty jokes are quite often rude or offensive. Maybe blue. We often describe rude jokes as blue jokes.
Have sexual connotations.
Yes. Well, that's what I hinted at.
Blue. Well, yes, but we have to explain blue.
Yes.
A blue joke is a joke. Is a joke that's sort of
rude.
Has sexual content.
Okay. Again, rude.
Yeah. I can say the word sexual, can't I, Mr. Duncan?
You can say it. You can say it.
Banned.
You can say, well, it is not banned. No, you're right. Sex.
Giovanni, what is it used in British English or American? Is what used in British English or American? Giovanni, I'm not quite sure what. Maybe the word damn. Yes, it's. I think it translates about across the water, doesn't it?
Yes, well, it's used in both. We say it, they say it, we all say it. It's amazing nowadays, actually, how many American phrases are used in British English, and also the other way round as well.
But I think what Giovanni is saying is a dam, something that holds water back.
Yes.
In America, do they spell it D-A-M Or is it still D-A-M-B? We don't know that.
I think it's still D-A-M.
Ah, right, in that
Yeah.
case. Yeah, so in British English, it would be D-A-M-N. Pronounced the same, sounds the same, but maybe in America it's just D-A-M, means
No,
is the same.
if it's the something that blocks the water, it's D-A-M.
Right.
If it's annoying,
that's what I mean,
and angry,
yes,
it's D-A-M-N.
Yeah,
it's
I
the
got it
same.
around the wrong way, didn't I? Yeah. The dam that blocks the water is DAM. Yeah, yes, exactly. Whereas the expletive is DAMN. Yes, short for damnation.
Good.
As you say. Good.
Good, Steve. We
Good
got,
to see you're awake, Mr. Duncan. I thought I'd test you there.
one of us has to be. See, that's a good comeback. There it is. You see. So he was making fun of me, and then I made fun of him. With my,
Well, I am. What about you? That's my comeback.
That's not really. Yes, that's great if you're 5. That's great if you're a 5-year-old child.
Alessandra, if you say damn, is it rude? Yes, it is. Damn you.
Yeah.
If you say damn you, you're effectively saying to somebody, go to hell.
Yeah.
I damn you to hell, is what you're saying. So, yes, it is. It's rude. It wouldn't be seen as a nice way to describe somebody at
No.
work. Damn you. I mean, you're effectively saying to somebody, die and go to hell when
Yeah.
you're saying that. But it's probably, it's probably...
But it's used a lot, and people don't even think what it means.
Yes, they don't really think about it, really.
Get rid of that damn mouse. Get rid of those damn something.
But you can. It doesn't have to be offensive because you can. It's just say if you hit your finger with a hammer, if you're putting a nail in, damn.
Yes.
You can say that. That's not really. You're effectively saying damn to the hammer, aren't you?
There are far worse things you could say.
You are starting with F, for example.
Okay. Yes. I think we all know that one, Steve.
Yes. Damn is yeah.
Yes.
Damn
yeah.
you. You could say a lot worse to somebody, couldn't you?
Yes. There are many more worse.
4-letter words
Yes.
that could be used.
We know. Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
I know, but I'm just explaining.
Yeah.
it.
We all know the bad words. We all know them.
Says Anarchy, the word damned. If you use the word damned, that means somebody has been. Yeah,
Okay.
damned. That's like the past, isn't it? Tense almost.
Yes.
If somebody is damned,
Well,
it
they're
means
doomed.
they've been sent to hell.
Yes. A person who's
Yeah.
damned is just doomed for a terrible fate.
Yes.
Yes.
You could say to somebody, yeah, you're damned. It means that no matter what you do, it's never going to work out for you.
Can we
Your life's gonna be a
just
failure.
have a competition here? How many times today has Mr. Steve said damn or damned? If you count them, and please send me the answer. Thank you.
Giovanni says, yes, that's from a famous film. Sincerely, my dear, I don't give a damn. If you don't give a damn about something, it means you don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about what you say.
Okay.
I couldn't care less.
There's a few more to add to your counting.
Yes. Oh, yes, it's 20-4, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
We've been prompted. Tomic said nothing.
Well, you keep just gabbling.
It's very funny. Well, thank you, Tomic. Yeah.
What?
It's quite funny. Tomic's said very little today, but he's prompting us now to fill in the blanks.
Yes.
So, which we will do.
I might also have to prompt myself. Here we go then. It's time to play that game that we all love playing. We all like playing this game. I like playing it. Mr. Steve likes playing it. And I hope you enjoy playing it as well. I think we know what it is. It is...
Fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, dun dun, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, dun dun, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks.
What's happened to the time today, Mr. I can't believe it's 20-4. I can't believe I've been standing here for an hour and 10 minutes.
Yes, you have.
What's
It's
going on?
Every moment has been complete gold.
Right, here we go. Fill in the blanks. We can get a few in before the deadline at 4 o'clock.
Do you mind not spitting all over me?
Was I spitting?
Yes. I think Steve can smell the chili con carne and it's making his mouth water, which is why I'm getting a shower. Here we go then, Steve. Fill in the blanks. All you have to do is fill in the blanks with words to fill in the blanks that you see underneath here. The first one is you only something to something if you want something.
Grammar is the key to this. Grammar. Think about the grammar.
Grammar. That's very posh.
Grammar. And while you're doing that, Nitram has come up with the phrase, which of course we're all told this, aren't we, by our parents. If you come back from school crying because another child has said something nasty to you, your parents will, or your mother will say, "Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you," which is the biggest load of rubbish.
Yes. Well, maybe the bad words are written on house bricks, and they're throwing the house bricks at you. In which case, they will hurt you.
They can't physically hurt you, but mentally they can very much hurt you. It's the biggest load of rubbish. It's the worst possible phrase that your parents could ever say to you, because it's utter rubbish. Because people's words really can hurt you.
Yes.
I think mentally.
I think it would be fair to say nowadays some people are more sensitive to everything. So I suppose there has to be a point where you have to accept that people will be rude and unfriendly. And it's just part of life. So here we go.
What your parents should say is that if somebody says something nasty to you, say something nasty back and get your own back. That's what your parents should say.
Yes. And then
stand up for yourself.
Then they probably will hit you.
And then you've got to hit them back.
Yes. Well, if you can.
And then they stab you, so you've got to stab them back. So, it can escalate, obviously.
Yeah. By that point, you're in serious trouble. HT. Hello to HT watching in China. Hello
high
to
tension.
You. Hello to you.
HT stands for high tension.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
HT cables. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm just saying, yeah. Have we got any suggestions yet?
Have you taken some medicine or something today? Yes.
You only have to pay if you want some food.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
You only have to pay. You only have to pay if you want some food. So you might go into a cafe and you sit down, but you don't buy anything.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah.
But you have to maybe buy something if you want to stay, but you only have to pay if you want some food. But they're letting you stay there. You can wait there, but you only have to pay if you want some food.
Yeah, that could work.
That's good.
The context has got to be explained there, which we think we have. Intelligence says you only care to call if you want some praise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, so you only care to call. So that the implication there is that you're only phoning, somebody's accusing you of only phoning them if you want a compliment. You could say compliment instead of praise there. You only call to,
Here's mine. Here's one of mine.
Shall I just say there's a few others here?
No, I'm not giving the answer. I've just thought of one. You only come to me if you want some money.
Well, that's what Tomek said.
Oh.
You only have to work if you want some money.
Oh, I see. Yes, you only have to work if you want some money. I suppose. Well, mine is you only come to me if you want some money. That means you only want to know me when you want something. You only come to me if you want some money.
Any cat, that could be said to. Literally any cat.
Yes. Cat.
Cats, yes. They only come to you when they want something. Cats.
Money?
Food. I mean, you'd...
Let's get us...
You want some money.
What's a cat going to do with money?
Of course, we've probably all experienced this, particularly if you are a parent, or maybe you've got certain friends or people you're in relationships with, and they only come to you if they want some money.
Yes.
And you might put up with it for years, and then eventually you dump them.
Yeah, so you get rid of them. You show them the door. You say, "Out! Get out of that door. I don't want to see you ever again."
You only try to joke if you want some fun. You only ask to go if you want some day off. That's quite right. What have you got then?
What have I got?
Because we've got to fit a few more in, haven't we?
I've got a lot, baby. I've got a lot.
You only have to win if you want some prize.
There are actually quite a few suggestions that you could have had. You only need to call if you want some help.
Help.
Yes. Or you only have to ask if you want some help. So actually with this sentence you could actually have quite a few suggestions here and they would all be correct. You only need to ask. You only have to call if you want some money. You only have to. It's okay, it's no problem. So in that particular sentence you are saying it's all right. You only have to call if you want some help. You only have to ask if you want some help. It's no problem. So you are almost offering your service or you are offering your help in that situation.
Vitasa says you only have to sport if you want some health. That doesn't quite work. But if you replace the word sport with exercise, you only have to exercise if you want some health.
Yes.
That would fit better.
Or if you want some fitness.
Yes, you only have to exercise if you want some fitness. That would work.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. I like it a lot. Here's another one. Let's have another one, shall we? As we are slowly running out of time. Let me just
No, got another 10 minutes. We can fit another 2 in, I think, Mr. Duncan.
It's amazing how fast the time goes, though.
It does. It goes. Well, it's gone very quickly today. I'm not quite sure why, but it has.
We are all something for our something next week. Oh,
we are all something for our something next week.
Yeah.
We are all... Can I kick up? Can I suggest one? No, maybe not. Grammatically correct, please. Please think about the grammar before you... Ratika, we are all... That doesn't quite fit, unfortunately. What are we... Yeah. That one doesn't quite fit, unfortunately. But never mind. Good try. Thanks for trying.
Lilia says we are all booked for our meetup next week. Oh, well, it isn't next week. Our meetup, the one that we were talking about earlier, is not coming just yet, but it is on its way.
We are all ready for our lesson next week, says Carmen. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, yes. We are all excited for our coronation next week. It would be probably the coronation, unless you yourself are being crowned.
Yes. So maybe Charles and Camilla will say, we are excited for our coronation next week. Because, of course, we have King Charles, but also we have the Queen Consort.
Well, Giovanni said exactly that. We are all excited for our coronation next week. Oh, yes, yeah. We are all happy for our trip next week. Yes. Or we are all ready for our trip. Or happy. Yes. We are all waiting for our holiday next week. Yes. We are all excited for our meeting next week, says Rosa. We are all united for our game next week. Yeah. If you're all rooting for the same team, yeah.
So we are all waiting, maybe.
We are all ready for our fine next week. Well, if you're going to be fined for something, you probably wouldn't be ready for it if you were going to be fined, because normally when you're fined, you don't realise you've done something wrong until it's after the event. So that's probably We are all up for our party. Yeah, that's a good one. Intelligent. We are all up for our party next week.
Oh, yes.
If you're up for something, it means you're excited to be doing it. You're prepared. You want to do it.
It's something maybe you are eager. You are very eager to do. You can't wait to do it.
We are all screwed for our presentation next week, says Jimmy.
If it's a group presentation.
Yes.
Yes, to be screwed means to be something that means that you have maybe a bad outcome waiting for you, or maybe something that's going to go terribly wrong, and you know it's going to go badly.
You can say, oh, I'm screwed. If you think something's going to go wrong and you don't think there's any possibility it could go right, you can say, I'm screwed.
There is no way it's going to go right.
Not sure where that expression comes from, but it obviously does have sexual connotations as well.
Okay, Steve.
I think it means that, yes, it refers to... I won't go into that.
No, just don't, Steve.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yes.
I can't stress that enough.
But some people might... Anyway. Right.
Anyway, Steve.
Yeah.
You just have to take the hint sometimes. To stop.
We are all called for our rehearsal next week. Or we have been called for our rehearsal.
Yeah.
Next week would be slightly better English.
So think about something that you are looking forward to doing. So this is a kind of sentence that is expressing something you are looking forward to. I am looking forward to this. We are all what? What are we? We are all...
Ready for our lesson next week, says Vitas, which does fit.
But maybe also you can be what? Yes.
Inaki, you could have said we are all ready for our rehearsal. We are all, or yes, you'd have to say, if you're going to use the word called, you would have to maybe change those words slightly. We have all been called for a rehearsal next week would be better, but yeah. Yes, The Crown is a UK TV show, but
it's not real, though.
It's not historical.
No, it's all fictional.
It's fictional.
Even though there are people that think it's a documentary, but it isn't. It's all fantasy.
It's all fictional. I don't believe anything that's in it. It doesn't resemble fact in any way.
That's it. It's not real.
There might be some truth in it, but most of it is just... And this is the trouble with these types of what look like very well presented shows. It's not a documentary. It is fiction. You can tell I'm getting close to the point where I need a rest.
Close to it. You started off like this.
We are all ready for our exam next week. Yes, there's a good one.
Yes.
Rosa. So there's a group of you. You're all taking an exam. You're students. We are all ready for our exam. Well, you could say, are we all ready for our exam next week? And turn that into a question mark.
That's it.
We are all ready for our wedding next week. Yeah, anyway, right. Go on, Mr. Duncan.
I think you need to lie down.
I need to lie down,
I
yes.
think you've just done too much today.
Mentally, I'm now exhausted.
You've been standing up, you've been walking around, you've been picking things up, and now you're all tired out.
Giovanni says, chuffed, question mark. I think you mean, what does that mean? If you're chuffed. I don't remember us saying that. We must have done. If you're chuffed, it means you're very pleased.
Yes.
Very pleased, you're happy.
You are quite pleased with yourself.
I'm so chuffed that you remembered my birthday. You're just happy, pleased.
Yes. Maybe that's a suggestion for our quiz. We are all chuffed for our... maybe not in that situation, maybe not that, but maybe something that you are looking forward to. There is a word that I'm looking for, and no one has used it.
We are all down for our get-together next week, says Tomek. Yes. Or next month, you could have said.
We are all down for it. So you can be up for something, but also you can be down for something. And both can be used to mean...
the same thing.
Is it just me, or is it Mr. Duncan generally annoyed genuinely annoyed with Mr. Steve.
Oh,
No.
this is just normal.
No, this is what we're like normally.
It's like this all the time. I'm used to it.
You want to see what it's like afterwards. It's the kicking and the scratching and the slapping.
This is mild. This is
Yeah.
mild.
Yes.
You should see us off air.
Yes.
We are all pumped for
Are
our
we?
party next week.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're pumped, it means you've got plenty of energy. You're
As-
ready to go, raring to go.
As long as you don't get pumped at the party.
Yes.
There
Well,
you-
some
you-
people want to be pumped at the party, don't they?
So here's my answer.
Thank you. We are all thanked for our you next week. Oh no, Giovanni, that's not a suggestion for
No.
the. What would you call this? A conundrum? A puzzle? Fill in the blanks. What would you describe it
Right,
as?
it's just a little.
It's a game. Yes,
Brain
it's
tease.
a word. It's a brain teaser. Yes.
Okay, Steve. I don't know. You're okay.
Yeah, fine. Go on then.
Have you taken your pills today?
It's the adrenaline's kicking in now.
Is it good? About time. So I have. Oh, that's interesting. Where did that go? Let's try again. There we go. We are all prepared for our vacation next week. But of course, you can also be excited. We are all excited for our vacation.
We've had a lot of
Next
very
week.
similar suggestions.
So this can be something that's said if you are looking forward to something. We are prepared. Maybe you are ready to do something. You are ready to do it. We are ready for our vacation.
Or our
next-
wedding, as Rosa said.
Yes, that's it.
Or our reunion.
Good. Anyway, that's it. That's it. We're going now. It's time to say goodbye.
Oh, wait, we're not doing right. Okay, then, right. Yes, nice to be here. Nice to see you all. Hope you've learnt something.
Yeah.
I have.
It's certainly, it's being with you certainly taught me a lesson.
Just because you're a native English teacher doesn't mean that you can't learn something every day. And we learn of you just as you learn of us. Hopefully, the balance is more this way.
And sometimes Steve learns.
Otherwise, we shouldn't be here.
Sometimes Steve learns things from me, which is always.
Not that I'd ever admit it. Right.
You would never admit it now. So that's almost it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this 2 hours. It's gone by very quickly, but don't worry. We are back next weekend, a special weekend. It is the coronation of King Charles next weekend. We might be with you on Saturday, hopefully live, and we will definitely be with you on Sunday. Next Sunday we are back, and of course we have a new month as well. We will be into the first week of May next week.
May.
Ooh. So this is Mr. Duncan and
Mr. Steve.
saying thank you very much for watching us. Don't forget, by the way, to give us a lovely like.
No, you must do that. We absolutely insist
Please give us a like.
that you do that because it helps Mr. Duncan to be found on the internet.
Yes.
And the more people that watch, the more chance of Mr. Duncan carrying on doing this for many, many years.
Yes, many months.
Because if people don't watch, then then we can't carry on. It's as simple as that.
If you don't watch, if you don't view, if you don't tell your friends, then we just simply fade away into nothingness.
That's what happens. That's how it works here on YouTube.
That's it. You're gone.
The likes help Mr. Duncan be noticed and thus give energy and purpose to everything that he does. Right. I shall see you next week.
Yeah.
Are you on this week maybe? I don't know. Anyway, you can always announce that later on.
Shall we go?
I'll see you next week. So it's a goodbye from me and it's goodbye from him.
And of course, you know what's coming up next. Of course you do. Ta-ta
Ta-ta
for
for
now.
now.